Hi everyone, I'm Janani, founder of Agility TuneUp. As you know, our team is always dedicated to bring you transformative coaching and training opportunities for you to help to stay relevant in the ever-changing world. Today also, we are with such an exciting news. If you remember, 2 months ago, some of you were able to experience for the first time in Sri Lanka the IC Agile Coaching certification in person. And now we have another valuable and exciting news. We are launching for the first time in Sri Lanka in person Advanced Certified Scrum Master workshop. Yeah, that's such a great news. And with Evelyn, the globally renowned and veteran coach and trainer Evelyn. And she's coming to Sri Lanka to fulfill two valuable missions. I think it's best to hear from her. Evelyn, we are so honored for accepting our invitation. So please tell us about yourself and your visit to Sri Lanka.
Well, great. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Anthony, for the opening. I can feel already a lot of passion, a lot of interest. And then that's also what I felt as well. So a couple of months ago, I got the invitation for conference speaking. I normally speak at conference. So I took another glance. Oh, cool. That's for an ACF conference. That's fantastic. And then Sri Lanka. So it took me a millisecond to say, yes, I'm coming, I'm going. And so now a couple of things about myself. So my name is Evelyn Tien. I'm a China-born Canadian and Sweden, living in Sweden. And I have been working as an Agile coach since 2009. Career-wise, 30 years. I spent quite a bit, a big portion working with Agile coaching. So back the time I was working with Ericsson, where I spent over 20 years working pretty much with every single different role you can think about, from business development, product management, project architect, software development, and R&D executive. So 2009, Ericsson was in the situation trying to figure out, after a couple of years of working with the Scrum and Agile little experiments, and how can we bring the best and unleash the true value of Agile and Scrum into the organization. As we know, Ericsson back then had 120,000 people globally, and the product I was working with Agile Scrum introduction a little bit earlier than that was only with 2,200 people on one single product. With Ericsson's platform, language, technology, as you can imagine. So therefore, 2009, Ericsson decided to go with internal Agile coaches, where we can go in with our competence on the product, on the organization, on the structure, culture, politics also that can be overwhelming for external coaches. So I started to work as an Agile coach and then I fall in love. And then quickly I realized, it's so important to bring in some soft skills to have more meaningful conversation. So I did take some basic preparation for leadership, a leadership core curriculum back then. However, that was not enough. And also I was really interested in knowing more. So 2010, 11, and 12, I spent time learning about the professional coaching. So I learned about how to work with the performance coaching, how to work with employees, and how to work with the person level master coaching. And then I have been integrating professional coaching into the Agile coaching role since then. Not only that, also applying the scope of work very differently. I know many people start to work with Agile and Scrum, started to work as a Scrum Master or Scrum Master-ish role. And then it's not only about supporting the team, and Scrum Master can also work with the product owner and product And there are also so many other elements in the whole organization system. So I've been working with Agile coaching at enterprise level, which is why I'm also one of the Scrum Alliance certified enterprise coach, certified Agile leadership educator, and Agile coaching skill educator, in addition to being a certified Scrum trainer. So I'm very excited to bring the Advanced Certified Scrum Master to Sri Lanka. And also I'm looking forward to meeting some of you who are so passionate about Agile and Scrum. Even you don't have a chance to take the A-CSM, would be lovely to meet you anyways.
Indeed. Wow. That is definitely a very fulfilling journey, Evelyn. And when you come, we look forward to have this conversation about this diverse experience that you have. And one thing I really loved what you mentioned is that I fall in love with Agile coaching. I think this love is what moves us forward. Like we fall in love with our profession and what we believe in Agile every day, and that what we can help to us as well as serve the community. And the Agility Tune-Up is really honored to have these kind of global partnerships, because that's what help us to nourish the Agile community with different certifications and experiences. Beautiful. So let's come back to the A-CSM, because we're going to have it in October, a 2-day in-person workshop. Tell us a bit about what is A-CSM and who's going to be primarily benefit from this certification.
Great question. First, before we talk about A-CSM, that's Advanced CSM, we need to go back a little, talk about CSM. So CSM, the name is called Certified Scrum Master. And in my CSM workshop, I always joke at the end and also to explain as well. There is slight naming challenge here. Why? Because although the class certification is called the Certified Scrum Master, and you're actually becoming more a master of a Scrum framework, a little bit even beyond, a little bit deeper than the Scrum framework, it doesn't quite make you the Scrum Master yet. So therefore, that is a CSM is a training more for people who want to learn more about Scrum framework, about Agile itself. And the Advanced CSM is the proper Scrum Master training. So that is where we will talk about things such as, oh, Scrum Master retrospective is so important for Scrum Master. How do you facilitate? So therefore, that's where we talk about how do we really facilitate? What are the group dynamics? What if somebody, for instance, doesn't speak during the whole session entirely? What if somebody speaks nonstop? How do we work with the facilitation side? On the other angle, there is also a lot of soft skills from a Scrum Master angle. That is, well, you possibly have worked with people every other day will be late for daily Scrum. I hope you have not been just educating the person. Daily Scrum has to happen daily. Why are you late again? And instead, having a more meaningful conversation. You might also have a developer on the team who showed up, for instance, at daily Scrum on time. However, I'm still working with it. I don't have any impediment. However, you might have noticed the person possibly have been sitting in the cafeteria for half a day or even doing online shopping. I'm just joking. So therefore, in short, there are many various different challenges working with just basically the Scrum team. In addition, you might also have managers as well who still embraces the old mindset. And this is what we're hoping for, and this is what they want, and how their behaviors are. How do we work with that? So that brings the passion Yanni and I will have about professional coaching, having a meaningful conversation instead of teaching, correcting people. And so that is very, very important. On the other hand, that these are only the soft skill. The other angle would be, how do I apply that to support my team? So my team would have my developers. And how do I build this? I'm very sure you heard, oh, Agile have self-organizing teams. I always joke, we're not machines. It's not going to say 9 o'clock, switch on. We're all self-organizing and motivated, empowered, and even cross-functional. It's not going to happen tomorrow. So therefore, how do we work with team? How do we build a self-organizing team? We pave the road for that. And also, how do I support my product owner? My product owner is not quite prioritizing, and my product owner doesn't quite collaborate with stakeholders. So after your meaningful conversation, still important to be able to support them being able to. And then also at organization level, we know that your team, whether you're working with a large company or even a small company, your team is only still a little portion of the whole organization system. So what are something we could gradually do at organization level? This is also about expectation management. So for organization at Advanced CSM, we're not talking about how to lead Scrum introduction, how to advance an organization's introduction from strategic part, but rather about to bring a couple of tools and practice at organization level so that you will be also be more recognized for your work and bring more value to your organization level. And then, of course, we also talk about how do I improve myself as a Scrum Master, as a person. We will definitely covering the situation. What if I have some conflict with another colleague? That happens. And what if colleague having conflicts? And how do we work with that? And of course, the feedback angle, how do I ask for feedback? And I hope we don't give feedback by telling people, hi, I have some feedback for you. I'm very sure if you hear that, you will not be very, very happy, excited, rather uncertain. What is she going to say? So we will talk about what would be a better way to give feedback, and also about understanding ourselves more. And all of this content about self-development are equally important, taking that into team setting, organization setting as well. So that will make you pave the road to becoming even better Scrum Master.
Yes, yes. And I love your explanation, because Scrum Master, I would say, is my first love, though I played all the three roles like Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Developer. And while there are many definitions for Scrum Master, I always believe Scrum Master is the person who brings the humanity, unity, and meaning to the team, right? So that's in that way, this program going to be really benefit to like all the Scrum Masters and many more. Who else would benefit, Evelyn, from A-CSM apart from Scrum Masters, you think?
Yeah, excellent question. Actually, I'm very sure while I was describing the content, you might have
Yes.
felt, oh, I'm not a Scrum Master, but that's equally important for me. Why?
Yes,
Because we
yes.
work, no matter what your role is, your role could be architect, your role could be a project manager, your role can be a product manager, you're a manager of different level. As we know just now, all the scenarios, having conversations with a colleague that's meaningful, that's powerful, that enable the person to be the best of themselves. And all of these are important. And then even for team angle, I could be the head of a department. I have my leadership team. How can I empower them so that they can be more self-organizing? So therefore, the session itself, the program is pretty much applicable to everybody who want to bring the best out of their team, out of their organization, and that could be a good program to take.
Beautiful, beautiful. So talking more about the getting the A-CSM, please help us to understand what are the prerequisites as well as what is the process of getting the certification.
Excellent. So for A-CSM, because it's called Advanced Certified Scrum Master, the prerequisite is that you have worked with the Scrum, worked with Agile. And it doesn't happen very often. I did have people who are interested in the content and have zero knowledge about Scrum, and that can be a little bit challenging. That you don't quite understand when people talk about my product owner so and so. So therefore, you need to have 1 year hands-on working experience with Scrum. So that is a prerequisite. to get your A-CSM certification. And then, of course, you might work with Scrum only for 11 months. By the time I arrive in Sri Lanka, can you take it? The answer is yes. If you have a hands-on experience, you feel, yeah, you know what, I know Scrum enough, and then you don't have exactly the 12 month yet, you could still take it. And then the clock is ticking. So then, for instance, in November, if you're missing 1 month, you will see your A-CSM certification on your dashboard. So therefore, you could, but you really need to have some hands-on experience. Doesn't have to be exactly the number we're looking for, half a year, and then you just practice, and then you advance yourself at the same time. Then you'll be a proper Advanced Certified Scrum Master. And a little note, too often people get confused about, oh, I only have my CSM, for instance, last week. Can I take it this week? And it doesn't have anything to do with your CSM date, but rather your hands-on working experience with Scrum. So in theory, you could say yesterday you got your CSM, and today you're taking your A-CSM. That's definitely feasible also.
Thanks, Evelyn, because this information is really useful because organizations in Sri Lanka are increasingly moving to Agile and Scrum. So this is going to be definitely a choice for those who are adopting Agile, the organization of it. Right. So my last question would be, now this is an in-person workshop. Sri Lanka had been missing in-person experience for many years since COVID, but now we are gradually opening in-person sessions in all the certifications that we are offering. So what can really the participants can look forward in an in-person A-CSM workshop? Maybe if you can share some key takeaways as well.
Of course. So A-CSM in general itself has a lot of interactions. So you will be doing role play for somebody who's late for daily Scrum. Or you could also be working with people who actually you heard, maybe directly a conversation with you, or could be you overheard. Somebody is saying, you know, why do we do daily Scrum? Why don't we do it every other day? I'm very sure that sounds familiar also. So there's a lot of role play. And the role play in person, certainly you will be able to capture a lot of information a little bit more slightly than virtual. For instance, you can only see my upper body. I might have leaned forward a little bit and backward. That's energy shifting. You may or may not have detected virtually. And then, so there are a lot of exercise, a lot of collaboration, either in a setup of a triad or in a team setting. So a lot of exercise, that's one. Another one is about networking also, because you will be officially the first batch of A-CSM in Sri Lanka. And then, so the network, because the challenge you're having now possibly is a challenge others had maybe 6 months ago, or even a little bit longer, vice versa. So therefore, having that connection, the in-person connection, you start to build this network together also. That is something that, although I love virtual work, because virtual work brings a lot of diversity. I could have a class of 20 people with, from 15 countries, a lot of diversity. At the same time, in person, you do have that, for instance, on our way to get coffee, we can chat a little. Over lunch, we can chat a little. And in the hallway, we can chat, which is something virtually, 10 minutes break. You're gone in your space, I'm gone in my space. So therefore, a lot of networking you will be expecting. And that relationship, I'm very sure you will value and you will continue as well.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. And we are really looking forward to have an experiential, fun-filled workshop with you. And looking forward to see you in October, because there are so many events are happening, and not only the A-CSM. We'd like to invite you to have a conversation with leadership as well. We will announce that quite soon. And yes, so in that case, thank you so much. And we really look forward to see you in October.
Thank you so much for the invite. I'm so looking forward to arriving and working with all of you in Sri Lanka.
Yes, thank you so much, Evan. And for our participants and the community, exciting times are ahead. So be in touch with Agility Tune Up. You will hear lots of workshops and activities happening in coming months. So stay in touch. And if you have any query, clarification about the A-CSM workshop, you can contact me and our team members, and you will find a link below for you to register in the workshop. So stay tuned for more information, and thank you so much.
Thank you.